At the most basic level, all retail businesses need suppliers. They rely on them to provide the resources for the products or the services they sell, or to supply resources that they need to run their business. Knowing how to source, manage, and build commercially viable relationships is a key component of building a stable, profitable retail business, regardless of the size of your business or what you're selling. Throughout the course, we're going to cover 4 key modules. The first is how to source the right supplier for your business, how to assess if they are a good fit and what criteria you should look at, and importantly, how you can nurture those relationships once you've sourced them. Finding good, reliable, trustworthy, consistent suppliers is critical for the success of your business, and establishing long-term relationships will be a key component of that success. Secondly, we will discuss how you can improve and develop your own personal negotiation skills to help you get the best out of those supplier relationships. In the third module, we will discuss understanding basic legal contracts. And lastly, in the fourth module, we will discuss how you can draft the best commercial terms for your business and not only protect your business from a commercial standpoint, but put in place legal protections that protect your business rights. In Module 1, Supplier Relationships, we're going to cover how you can go about finding the right suppliers for your business, what qualities you should look for in a supplier, the process you can use for sourcing and evaluating each supplier. We'll talk about the importance of managing supplier relationships, the benefits that can bring to your business, and how you can lay the foundations for good supplier relationships. As people, we're not all compatible, and the same is true of any retail business. Whether you run a bricks and mortar retail business or an e-commerce store, finding the right suppliers is a key part of your ability to succeed in retail. You can have the best location, the best people running your business, a really solid operation, but if your suppliers let you down time and time again, your business will struggle to excel and succeed. All retail businesses rely on suppliers, manufacturers or distributors for some sort of resource or inventory to sell within their business. So finding the right supplier for your business will be a key part of its success. The right supplier for you will have the right price range available in the goods that you can afford. It will serve your geographic region. It will be reliable and trustworthy and easy to work with, and be able to cater for your business needs. Businesses often choose suppliers based predominantly on cost, and some seem to chop and change regularly. They buy what they see as the best price for the product or service. However, I have personally found that this is rarely the most efficient way of doing things. There's time and cost involved in searching and arranging for contracts and new suppliers, and you usually find more problems and misunderstandings when you're dealing with an unknown or new supplier. And this can lead to reputation damage for your business due to poor quality control, lack of fulfillment in your orders, and many other problems that can occur in a supply chain line. What you're looking for in a supplier is to be able to control your supply line, to achieve consistency within your business, quality of your products, fulfillment in your orders, and ensure that the timing of your delivery suits your business needs. If your deliveries are late every second delivery, it makes it very hard for you to run your operation efficiently and to drive your sales. By investing the time to find the right suppliers for your business, you'll be able to benefit from stronger relationships with a smaller number of suppliers, and this often will give you better value for money than regular turnover of suppliers and contractors. It may not be initially the cheapest price per product, but long term will provide better value for your business. Aside from the financial benefits, having strong customer service and clear communication from the start with your supplier will be critical for getting the most out of your supplier relationships and the performance. In retail, ultimately, you're always selling something onto the customer. You're taking a resource, service, or product and you're trying to add value to it and take it to the customer to make a profit for your business. So finding the right suppliers for your business will be a key part of your ability to succeed. We've talked about finding the right supplier for your business and its importance to your success. So what is it you're looking for to assess if somebody is the right supplier for your business? There are many things that you need to look at. One of the first ones can be if they're an expert in your product type and your target market. If your supplier is familiar with the common quality issues related to your product, and if they have experience in manufacturing or distribution of your products or similar, they're likely to be able to identify proactively problems that you may face before you place large orders. And if they're experienced in distributing to your target market, they'll also be familiar with your quality and legal requirements. Another thing to consider is the production capabilities or delivery capabilities of that distributor. A quality supplier should be able to consistently meet the requirements for your needs. Having availability and being able to supply you 1 month but not being able to meet those requirements the following month could cause serious harm to your business operation and your ability to drive sales and deliver for your customers. Another important quality to look at is accountability for quality issues. This is especially true if you're buying direct from a manufacturer, but also applies if you're buying from a distributor. Mistakes happen with product quality, but having a supplier that can accept responsibility for their half of a deal will make a significant difference. You cannot sell defective products, or it will cost you money in terms of reputation or actual sales because you'll have to discount it. So having suppliers that can help you rectify problems and are proactive and easy to deal with in this case will make the world a difference. Communication is another important quality you'll need when you are looking for the right supplier for your business. You'll benefit greatly from working with a supplier that's easy to communicate with, and effective communication can prevent a variety of problems. If you're sourcing suppliers from overseas, English speaking is a huge help, and having direct and open communication with your suppliers will be critical. If you've ever worked with a supplier that's withheld information from you, perhaps they thought it's not what you wanted to hear or didn't want to tell you the bad news, but finding out about problems or missed shipping dates or short-filled deliveries at the last minute is not helpful to your business. So good, clear and consistent communication will be critical in finding the right supplier for your business. If you're sourcing your suppliers from overseas, you'll want to find a supplier that will cooperate with third-party quality control checks. You'll also want to ensure that they have ethical compliance practices, and of course that all of their products pass the quality and regulation control required here. There's no set formula for finding the right supplier for your business, but if you follow these guidelines and assess the criteria based on your own business needs, you'll have a much better chance of finding the right supplier for your business. And of course, when you have identified a potential supplier and think that they're right for your business, before you sign any contract, it is essential that you carry out some due diligence. You want to ensure that they can fulfill the contract you're agreeing to. You'll need to run a credit check to ensure that they have the cash flow to deliver what you want and when you need it. And this is particularly important if you're entering into a long-term contract. It's not only possible to run into problems when you're buying inventory for resale. If you're buying something from a supplier such as new software where you will need installation and ongoing support, you will want to ensure that that business is around for the long term to be able to provide you with the necessary support that are probably part of the contract and guarantees. If possible, it's always a good idea to ask for some references from other customers of the supplier. In all likelihood, the supplier will probably run some background checks on you to ensure that you have the means to pay for the services ongoing, even if they have some financial terms in place that mitigate the risk to them. We're now going to talk about the process you can use to source suppliers and ensure you find the best fit for your business. The first step is to understand what you need and in what quantity and in what frequency. Whether you're a startup business or a mature business, you need to decide on the products that you want to sell based on either sales history in the past or what your future goals are. Estimate demand for each product and don't be swayed from your numbers by suppliers' minimum quantities. Know what you want first. Once you've established what you want, you can then move on to evaluating the market of suppliers that are available to you, and you want to make a short list. And there's many ways that you can do this. Theoretically, you can explore the whole universe, but practically that will take a lot of time and you'll also find a lot of incompatibility. So how do you narrow the search down where you can assess in further detail? One of the best ways is to start with trade publications and joining trade associations. If you subscribe to your industry's trade publications, these magazines will give you a wealth of information about businesses and relationships in your industry. And you'll find that there'll be a lot of advertisements from product manufacturers or distributors looking to reach people like you. If you join and participate in online groups, you'll find a wealth of information from other small business owners. I've personally found that people are eager to share their knowledge and information, even if they're deemed competitors. Investing time in building your network of trusted connections will help you source the best suppliers for your business. In today's world, there's a lot of virtual trade shows, and these are a great way to accumulate information. These events are designed to connect retailers with distributors and manufacturers. Another area you can look into are the major B2B marketplaces, and there are many. Alibaba may be the world's largest, but there are a variety of marketplaces for a variety of products, and depending on your needs, you have a wide choice available to you. And of course, there's always good old-fashioned online research. Just be sure to include keywords about your products or be very specific in the details to narrow down the search. You should be able to do some comparison shopping online and get a feel for what the normal industry prices are. Whatever method you choose to create a shortlist for suppliers, the next step will be to evaluate them, and you need to choose criteria that will impact your business. There's many things that you can look at. Obviously, the competency and the track record of success of the supplier will be important. The capacity and production capabilities of what they can actually handle. How many commitments they already have within your industry, and what will the commitment be that they're able to give you. Looking at the control they have of their own processes and supply chain. Even if it's a business that says they can't accommodate every need that you actually have, this is not necessarily a bad thing. A well-run, organised business that knows its own capacity and controls its supply chain well, even if it's slightly out of sync with your original needs, this can still be an asset in the long term. A business that agrees to chop and change its supply line for you or anyone will always run into operational difficulties. And what you're really looking for is consistency and quality in the long term. So an efficient, well-run business is an asset, even if you have to slightly adapt your delivery timelines, etc. Obviously, they need to be scoring well on the other criteria. Cost is another criteria, and how they compare in the marketplace on similar products. And obviously their communication, the quality and how easy it is to communicate with them. Every business will have different needs, and you'll need to choose criteria that best suit your business. The next step would be to try and meet the candidate suppliers. As advanced as we are with technology, you still can't replace relationships. If you can't meet in person in today's world, it's very easy to meet through live video conference. Having a meeting with your shortlist candidates will enable you to get a better sense of who you're actually dealing with and to see firsthand how competent and professional each supplier presents themselves. It's a simple concept, but seeing how easy it is to arrange a conference call, if it starts on time, and how the interactions are a great test of how a relationship will be. Yes, of course, sometimes people can put on a good show for a first meeting and not follow through, but if they don't even bother to put on a good show the first time, that gives you a real sense of what's to come. Next step will be to choose the actual supplier that you want to work with. And obviously no supplier will rate perfectly in every single category, so you'll need to choose the qualities in suppliers that are an absolute must-have and non-negotiable for your business objectives. And not everything can rate equally. When making your decision, ensure you consider the minimum order quantities, the payment terms, the delivery schedules, and any other factors that could impact your business efficiency. You may even want to request samples in advance to check the quality of the actual products. These should be free to you, but you may have to pay for postage and packaging. Depending on where your supplier is based, be sure to plan for the various problems that you can incur. If they're produced far away or procured from far away, you may have to plan for damages and delays. International suppliers can have different weather seasons or different cultural holidays that can slow down delivery. It's worth understanding what can affect your actual business. The next step will be to set up an efficient tracking system. You want to be able to reduce your stress and increase the transparency. So either create your own system or adopt an easy-to-use tracking system. You want to be able to track every order that you've placed and have visibility for every item on that order, whether it's being prepared, dispatched, or at what stage of en route. You want to be able to keep all of your paperwork together and organised. You want to be able to easily display your supply chain, including your suppliers, their qualities, categories and specialities, especially if you have a larger business or you have a business that requires a wide range of products. By following these steps, you should have a good chance of finding the right suppliers for your business and having long-term success and sustainability with those suppliers. I cannot overstate the importance of supplier relationships. Success in any business is defined by relationships, and every business, big or small, sits in the middle of a chain of relationships that are formed with suppliers and customers, taking products and services from one end and adding value to generate profit at the other. We talk a lot about how to manage and nurture customer relationships from marketing and customer service and how to maximize income. But the supplier side is equally important. At the most basic level, every business needs suppliers to provide resources for the products and services it sells, or the actual inventory that it sells on to customers to create its profit. Investing time in building your relationships with suppliers, getting to know them better and letting them know you will help improve your business. You're more likely to benefit from dedicated service, preferential pricing, special terms, and having those ad hoc business needs met. This will have an impact on your whole supply chain. It will become more efficient, cost-effective, and productive. If you're a small business, a good relationship with a supplier can also provide you with a much-needed business supporter who can provide you with fresh perspective and encourage your business. They can often see solutions to problems that you can't perhaps see due to being in the middle of the actual problem. Of course, not all relationships with suppliers are equal. You're likely to have many tactical suppliers, and tactical suppliers are more short-term and a more transactional approach to procurement. Decisions are made based primarily on price and availability for delivery dates. However, most businesses will have a couple of more strategic partnerships. It may be a case that your business is significantly reliant on them to be able to perform your business, or vice versa. You may contribute to a significant proportion of their actual business and they're heavily reliant on you. Either way, the relationship is more mutually beneficial and both parties are aligned to the success of each other's business. There are many advantages of good, healthy supplier relationships. The first is you can gain better value for your business. The second thing is you can capitalize on peaks and troughs within your business and you can have the things that you want and need at the right time. Businesses don't remain static, and sometimes you will need more and sometimes you will need less. Of course, you try and plan your business and your operation, but things don't always go to plan. Your business may be performing outside of your expectation and you may require urgent top-up orders, for example, unexpectedly. And having a good relationship with your suppliers can allow you to have that flexibility to place urgent orders and to capitalize on some trade for your business. Not everything will always be able to be accommodated, but from experience, having solid, healthy relationships makes everything more possible. Imagine you either don't know your supplier well or you have a fractured relationship due to past issues of late payments, short deliveries, or the many other issues that can occur. It's much harder to have your last-minute requirements met by people you don't have a good relationship with. Where relationships are solid, people will want to help and will look outside the box to help find solutions for others. In the past, I've had suppliers redirect other customer shipments to me, repitch goods and orders, causing a lot of duplicate work for their warehouse, but getting me my required stock early, meaning I could capitalize on sales and performance. Another advantage is by focusing on a smaller group of trusted suppliers. This will cut complexity for your business and eliminate the risk of duplication. It can help you find cost control within your business. There's a hidden expense to constantly looking for new suppliers in search of better value. There are direct and indirect logistical costs of a complex supply chain. When you invest in long-term relationships with your suppliers, it can give you gains in efficiency. Simplifying your supply chain will reduce the risk of waste and error. Good supplier relationships allows you to have improved efficiency as your businesses will adapt to suit each other's needs. Finding resolutions for problems as they occur, which they always do in retail, will become simpler and more efficient. You'll also be able to see these problems in advance when your relationships are strong. Taking time to strengthen the relationships with your suppliers should bring about stability for your business. The open communication will help you to see the problems coming and give you more time to deal with them, and ultimately help you have a slicker operation with less problems and more time to focus on the sales driving initiatives. So how do you lay the foundations for strong supplier relationships? Building strong relationships with suppliers means thinking about procurement in terms other than the mechanics of purchase agreements and contracts. The focus on how you interact and build the relationships with the supplier is very distinct from the logistical focus of supply chain management. Things are rarely as simple as signing a contract and then sitting back and watching the process play itself out. Supplier management is about people management, ultimately, and understanding the added value that the human aspect of business can bring to your operation. Keeping this side of things running smoothly will help ensure that both sides work quickly to resolve issues. Continually looking for ways to improve the operation and each other's business and help each other reap benefits from the relationship. If your business is doing well and performing well, your orders will increase. One of the requirements to maintain healthy supplier relationships is to have good interpersonal skills and a certain mindset. What are some of the things that you can do to help improve your relationships with your suppliers? Firstly, you need to have good, effective, two-way communication. If you don't talk to your suppliers, you can't learn enough about them to help build your relationship. Understanding what's going on in their world, their obstacles and delays, and how it could potentially impact your business will help you manage that relationship better. I would always be watching out for things that could impact my supply line. Public holidays in their foreign countries, issues with shipping and logistics, or just problems in their own business that could potentially impact my business. There's an old saying that knowledge is power, but I would always be watching out for anything that could impact my business, as well as trying to be helpful to my suppliers. If I could make changes and help my supplier, I would. For example, delaying shipments, saying, hey, I'm not a priority. I don't need that urgently. Deal with your other problem first and come back to me. I would, because when I had my problems, I wanted them to find solutions for me and to find workarounds. Relationships are always two-way. Another important factor in building effective relationships is being open and honest with each other. Sharing information and being transparent about your intentions increases the likelihood of reaching agreements which benefit everybody. My own personal management style is very open and honest, and I'll often be vulnerable in front of people and suppliers. This is in part personality and in part tactics. I never want to be blindsided when managing my business with information unknown to me. I never want to find out at a last minute that there's an issue with my inventory or any part of my business. I want to see all parts of the wheels that are moving, and by being open and transparent with people allows them to be open and transparent with me. And this means that I'm rarely caught off guard with my business. This is not to say that I don't have problems occurring, but it means that I'm aware of them in advance generally, and I have time to find workarounds and solutions to minimize the impact on my business. Improving and building relationships takes time and trust, but are an integral part of a successful business. Investing time in the relationships with your suppliers will have benefits across the board for your business. And of course, I understand that people don't have an infinite amount of time to invest in supplier relationships. They have busy businesses to run. So try and focus on the relationships where there can be strategic benefits to growth for your business, or suppliers that have a significant impact on your business if they fail to deliver. If you run out of toilet paper for your customer toilets, you can buy them in the local shop at not a great expense. However, if you run out of products that you sell on to customers or are an integral part of your business, i.e. if you're a hair salon and it's hair colour, this will have a significant impact on your ability to perform your services and sell your products to customers. So focus your time on the relationships that will have the most impact on your business.